it's part of our lives here.
Rodney, what about you? This is kind of depressing, actually.
Well,
Yeah, Rodney goes down to the... Rodney's a leading man. He goes down to the wire.
Rodney's a leading man.
this week,
No, today.
my probably the biggest job that I didn't get, I'm almost embarrassed to even say that I was bummed that I didn't get it, but it was a little TV show that went on to do really well. It's called Beverly Hills 90210. It was, I had actually done a pilot for Aaron Spelling a year before called, oh God, it was Curse of the Corn People. And what it was kind of ahead of its time, I guess. It was about this group of filmmakers that went into, you know, Iowa to make this horrible horror movie, and, you know, their misadventures. And the show obviously didn't get picked up, but I became, quote unquote, the new fair-haired boy at Aaron Spelling Productions. This was probably right after Nightmare. And so a year goes by and they're doing 90210, and I get a phone call, and it's the last day of network. So, you know, the process of getting a TV show is you go and you audition for the casting director, and then the next step is you audition for the producer and the director, and then if they really like you, then they take you to network where you sit in a room in front of 40 people and audition. And that's the final stage. So I get called into network for 90210 without ever having to audition at all. Now, it's hard to be candid in a room of this size, but
That's never been your problem before.
no, it hasn't. The 90s were not exactly my brightest period. So the year before I'd done the show, I was kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and during the year before the 90210 audition, I had started dating this rock and roll princess in Los Angeles and everything that kind of went along with that. So I walked into network after not seeing Aaron for a year, and 2 nights before I dyed my hair jet black. I probably weighed about 120 pounds. I was probably wearing like a Ramones t-shirt. And
I cast you.
yeah, they just weren't very interested. But like somebody else at the table said, I'm sorry, I just woke up. I'm so glad I didn't get it, you know. It was the Jason Priestley part.
Yeah.
And it would have been, and God bless him, and you know, I wish I had his cars and his homes, but I'm much happier now where I'm at in my life after, you know, like it's great, like it would be great to be on The Sopranos for 10 years, but, and I hate speaking negatively about any project, but I'm just glad that I wasn't on 90210 for 10 years.
Ken, what about that De Niro part you lost?
Oh, well, I don't know how to say this. I fought like hell to get an audition for Clark Kent as Superman. But they said I didn't fit the role. So, to go back a little bit, I wanted to pay homage to Wes Craven as a black person. He knew how to write for black people too. I mean, you were saying about how words are, and I just remember those wonderful creative words that I had to say. Fuck you, Fred, motherfucker, motherfucker. Wow, they are legendary. But I think Nightmare on Elm Street, I say this all the time for 2 reasons. I have to give homage to it because Nightmare on Elm Street made history for the African American community. I am the first African American to ever survive a horror film. I also would like to, I always have to give homage because for me, when I did Nightmare on Elm Street, I was new. And most of us, I think, was new. And I knew as a part as acting for the acting world. It was something new for me. I was still wet. And
Nude and wet.
New and wet. That's right. So I give homage because Robert Englund and Helga took us under their arms as young brothers and sisters, and that meant a lot to me, and it spoiled me because I thought I was going to get that on my next film. But they really looked out for me, and one of the things, Mr. Englund, I like to say, I saw the remake of Nightmare, the old Nightmare, and although I give homage to the guy that played Fred, but Robert, there is no other Freddy Krueger.